Denise, thanks for inviting me to your studio, and thank you for showing me this work. It really is a stunning work. There's so much going on. I'm trying to understand this, so you're going to have to help me. Like, Kongens Negerbollar, does that really say what I think it says?
Well, what it means, Kongens Negerbollar, is Swedish, and to translate it, it means the King's Niggerballs. And they're part of some cakes that was traditionally eaten in Sweden and were homemade. And they were called niggerbolls when I grew up there in the 70s and the 80s. And this painting is about mixed-race kids in Sweden. And it's about them having a space within society. Now, there's a young boy and a young girl, I would say probably at the age of 11. And they're both wearing the Swedish football team's top. And they're standing on a sign and putting their foot on this sign that is saying basically no enter. So it's basically about them putting the sign down on the ground and entering into society. But on the left-hand side, you have the recipe for this particular cakes, which was made every Friday at school. We had niggerbolls. And at the time, I didn't actually, it was just part of being there, me as a black girl growing up there. But obviously when I think back on it, it's not right. And now they're not allowed to call them that anymore.
When you say they're not allowed to call them that, the authorities say they're banned it?
They're banned it, they're recognised as, you know, when I grew up there, we were like the only black family, and my mum is white and my dad is black Jamaican, and we were the only black kids at the school. But as times have changed, there's obviously a growing population of black people even in Sweden.
Yeah.
And obviously they have made their voice heard and said that this is not acceptable. And the government have therefore changed.
The government, that's interesting compared with the gollywog.
Yes.
Gollywog is much more a voluntary thing here in the UK. But look, there's kind of, as I say, there's a lot going on in this picture. You know, first, I should have asked, what's it called?
So it's called the King's Niggerballs.
It's actually called...
Yeah.
There you go. So
but in Swedish, so it's called the Kongens Negerbollar. So expect the people that would be offended would only be the Swedes, because most people wouldn't understand it until I translated it.
Okay, we'll make a Swedish version of this then for your friends in Sweden. But look, it seems to be just in two parts, really. On the left, you've obviously got the recipe for these Kongens Negerbollar, yeah? And on the right, we've got, as you say, there's two children. One's waving to us. The other seems to be holding back a bit. And, well, I feel there's something you're trying to say here.
Well, I think on the left-hand side where you got the recipe is an old recipe. And in the bottom below the recipe is a packet of cocoa powder, which those days in Sweden, I don't know if it still is, it's kind of a 50s design, and it was the only one you could buy. We didn't have options of different cocoa powder because we're a socialist democratic society, and the options weren't kind of something that was happening in the shops. So everybody recognized that, everybody knows that, because everybody had that package in their house. So I guess the side on the left is about the past, and the side on the right is the reason why he's waving and coming through is about what's happening by the growing population of mixed children of mixed heritage coming through, or people of mixed heritage, and that's kind of happening all over Europe. And it's the fastest, you know, here in Britain, it's the fastest growing minority. And so it's about kind of, that's the it's quite, I think, the right-hand side is quite a positive side.
So you say, hey, look at me, here I come.
Yeah.
Okay, and in the background, are those three crowns? Is that just the reference to the Kongens, or is this something else?
Yeah, it's the kind of, you get that on the coins, the Swedish coins, so that's like a reference to the royal family of Sweden. And interestingly enough, the king had a very long-standing relationship like when he was being unfaithful to the queen with a slightly younger than himself young woman of mixed race heritage, and she
really?
and
This is in Sweden today.
In Sweden, well, they kind of, that is over, but you can find out all about her on the internet if you want to. She was very good looking, very nice, and it wasn't just a one-night affair. It was a long, many
Can you give
years.
us a name? I can Google.
No, but you could just Google the king and his...
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah,
we'll do
and
that.
you can see it. So in a way, it's also a little sort of a joke, I guess, in the sense of this could be their children. You know, it wouldn't be the first time there'll be kids born out of wedlock in the royals.
So this is you making statements about your Swedish heritage, about the black presence in Sweden. I see this, for me, maybe help me here, this is about hope, this is positivity, the negativity of the Kongens Negerbollar, but then at the same time, there's young people kind of coming into society, having their way, they've stopped the Kongens Negerbollar. So they have a part of society, and this is making a positive statement.
Well, I'm hoping, but as we all know, you know, it's not looking good at the moment in Europe or in Britain. But, you know, I'm hoping that the young people are going to come through. I mean, when I grew up, it was a lonely existence. But when I go back to visit Sweden now, I feel joy when I'm sitting on the tube and I'm seeing all kind of multicultural society around me. So I can see a change.
So this is hope.
Yeah.
This is hope.
And the colours are kind of, they're not
They're
dark.
Swedish, come on.
Yeah, they're Swedish. They're the Swedish flag.
I'm expecting to see a Swedish football come out any moment, you know?
Yeah.
So look, thank you for sharing your view on this wonderful work with me.